Good morning, friends. Diana here from Garden Love. Today, you guys are going to come along and check the orchard and see what we can harvest and what we can taste together. I brought a little basket because I don't plan on bringing a whole lot into the house. I plan on eating it as I walk through the orchard because there is a few things that are already popping out. I've been eating a lot of my Snow Queen nectarine. They're amazing, and I've been trying to eat them a little bit at a time because the squirrels are getting to them already. And we're gonna talk about why I didn't thin them as much as I should have. And let's get to it and let's go taste some fruit. I don't know if you guys can see my Snow Queen nectarine. That's where we're headed right now. Here's my Snow Queen nectarine. It is loaded and it was a lot fuller than this. I did try to take some fruit in between the branches, but I didn't take that much fruit off knowing that the squirrels were gonna get to some, so I figured that they were gonna help me thin the tree out. But as you can see here, let me show you guys, there's a lot of fruit, but there's also a lot of fruit that the squirrels have been eating. Let me show you. You guys see that? So let's grab one or two and let's taste them. Let's try fruit. This branch has multiple fruit on it, so I'm gonna thin it out. I'm hoping that the ones I take, oh, and it's already soft. Oh, but look, see, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know if those are birds or is that the squirrel. What do you guys think? But it's soft. See, the birds and the squirrels know exactly which ones to chew on. I'm gonna put this one in here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I did bring a knife and I do wanna show you guys what this fruit looks like. Obviously the fruit is not as big as other years, and that's because I didn't thin it as much. So if you guys want large fruit, you guys have to thin it. But since I didn't want the squirrels to eat only the few fruit that I left in there by thinning it, I just didn't thin it as strong because I figured they were going to get some, and that way there was enough for me. Look at that. It's crunchy. I want to find a softer one because they're sweeter, and that's the thing. Last year I waited till the last minute because I wanted them to be sweet. I like them a little bit softer because they're more ripe. Let me take this leaf off. I didn't get to eat any of them last year. So this year, I've been eating them every day. I come out here and do my little walk, and I take one. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can hear the crunchiness. It is crunchy. Let me see if I can harvest a few other ones. There's a lot of them that have bird. Here, let's see. Take this one just because there was a cluster here. This one's a cluster too. I don't know if you guys can see it. So I'm gonna pick the biggest one. I'll pick this one. I love fruit that has this scarring. I don't know if you can see it, because that scarring is basically, it's a scar, so all the juices and everything goes there to heal it. So therefore it makes it super, super sweet. I love fruit like this. Let's see if I can get some more. See, I'm afraid to leave too many and not get enough for myself because of these darn squirrels. Look at this cluster. I don't know if you guys can see this cluster. I'm gonna take a few off. Hopefully the ones I leave, oh, that one came off, okay. Hopefully the ones I leave, the squirrels don't eat them. They're little, but they're still tasty. I actually thinned a few of them and I left them on the counter hoping to find a recipe to pickle them. If you guys know of a recipe to pickle them, please leave it in the comments down below, either for this fruit or other fruits that I have to thin out. And my daughter started eating them. They were like this little and she loved them. She's like, oh, is there any more? I'm like, oh, okay. Those were just, I was just thinning them out. They were like this little and she was eating them. She loved them. So I didn't get to pickle them, but I would like to get a recipe because next year I'm going to do the same thing with this tree and thin them out. See how, I don't know if you can see right here. I left like maybe 6 inches in between these two. Hopefully the birds or the squirrels don't get to them. Same thing with this one. There's like a fruit every 6 inches. There's this one, the squirrels already went to town. This one, they already went to town. So there's only one. And hopefully they come back to the same one and don't ruin my fruit. This one, the same thing. Oh, this one's so pretty. Same thing. There's a cluster right here I'm gonna take. Yeah. See? Well, I'm gonna put him in here and then give him to the chickens. There's a big cluster up there. All right, let's move on to the next fruit. Let's see what else we can munch on for breakfast. I came to the other side of the tree and look at this. I want to show you guys. See that? Gone. The one below it, a little peck. So I'm just gonna take, look at that. So it's turning out that I'm either going to eat them small and not as sweet as I expect them to be, or I'm not gonna get any like I did last year. This one, good. It's like, see how big that is? They could get bigger, but, and I know I can come over here and cover them, but that's just something I'm not willing to do at the moment. So I'm just taking what I can. And there's a few ones over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at those. Oh, that was almost a perfect one because it has all of the scarring that I love. Oops, I dropped one. But look, this would have been so tasty. Do you guys see all the scarring? But something got to it. Maybe I could try a little piece. But this is, oh my goodness, all the scarring right there. Oh, I have to put you guys in the light so you guys can really see what I'm talking about. You guys see that? All the scarring right here. All of this, it's rough. I can even, can you guys hear that? It's rough. Oh, that was a good one. All right, let's go on to the next fruit. Really quick, I want to show you my calamari citrus. It is the most loaded of citrus little calamari fruit I have ever seen this tree. So we are going to try some of those recipes that you guys put in the comments from my video when I talked about this tree. I am looking forward to that. Let's go see this little 4 or 5 in 1 tree that I have here. And I tried using the disco ball because I did notice that some of the fruit was already getting some pecking. This was from a long time ago. And as soon as I put that, I have to report that it has helped. I haven't seen any other pecking on this tree from the fruit since I put that disco ball. My daughter had it, didn't want it anymore, and I took it. I brought it out here. So I might put that on my persimmon tree that has fruit that I already noticed that squirrels are trying to get to and birds. So, but we'll do that after. Let's try this fruit. You guys see this? It's already ready to go. Let's see what kind of fruit this is. This is an Anna apple. So let's try it. All right, here's the tree. You guys can see this is the one little apple that looks like it's doing so well. We got some blush in there, and I'm gonna try it with you guys to see what it tastes like. I'm just gonna wipe it down with my shirt. Oh, and I'm seeing some new little apples right here from this other branch that's a desert gold apple. So I'm excited to try those in the future. I love how all these varieties have different harvest times. All right. So this is a little tree, so I wasn't expecting much from the tree. It has been there for over a year, so I did let some fruit get, some flowers turn into fruit. It's sour at first, but then it's a little sweet. Let's try more of the pink spot to see if that's sweeter. I try to come out here and do a little walk in the morning, and that's usually what I do. I grab some fruit, so I figure I bring you guys along today. It's sweet and sour. I've been trying to up the watering. That way they can get more water. I don't know if maybe that's why they're not growing as big. So I'm kind of like keeping an eye on it and observing and seeing what I need to be changing. I'm going to, make note of my changes and see how I can help the trees to produce better fruit. All right. Well, that's my desert. Wait, let me see. I forget everything so quick. My apple and an apple. Let's see how it is compared to the nectarine. Size-wise, pretty much the same. You know what? Now that I have the knife, I want to taste this fruit. And I want to see if this is sweeter than the rest. I know this is kind of like I watered too much at one point and it just kind of popped open. But this definitely something chewed it up, so I'm going to stay away from that. But I do want a little piece of this juicy little section that has a lot of scarring. It's crazy because growers who grow fruit to sell in the store, they actually select, I just learned this recently, they select fruit that doesn't have the scarring because they think that it's not going to sell. And honestly, if people knew a little bit more about fruit, they would know that that's actually the best fruit. I'm going to show you. I took a piece directly from the place that had all the scarring. I really want you guys to see the scarring. See, compare that to this. Amazing. Yes. If every one of those nectarines can get like this. So good. I'm just going to keep working around it because this fruit is amazing. I'm going to try another piece that doesn't have as much scarring. It's still super sweet. If you guys remember this tree I used to have in a container and it actually produced a lot of fruit. You go back to my previous videos and go Snow Queen Nectarine Harvest. While it was in a container, it gave me a good basket of fruit. Enough to be able to make a jam. So, if you guys want to get a nectarine, my personal favorite so far is the Snow Queen Nectarine. And even while they're not ripe, they're still sweet. I just left the bad parts. Wow, this was the best one so far. Since there is little mischievous squirrels, I'm just gonna throw this. Hopefully they can find it and it'll prevent them from coming to that tree maybe a day or two more. And that's what I've been doing lately. Anything I chew up and I leave something, I just throw it towards, I know they're more around this area. I know that they have their homes out there, and I'm hoping they find that in that. And they're like, okay, we don't have to go all the way over there. Let's talk about my fig tree. This is a strawberry fig tree that I got from Charles. I can tell that it needs a lot of water. Let me show you guys. I've been trying to up the watering because you can tell that these are dehydrated. I've even put the hose here, but for some reason, I don't know if once the fruit is set and if it didn't get enough water, it won't get hydrated after. But I did crack one of these open, and even though they were dehydrated, there was still some stuff in it, and it was good. Let's try one together. All right, so I think I like this one. I'm gonna use my knife because it's just easier. The skin is a little tough. Oh yeah, it's super dehydrated. I'm still gonna try it. Yeah, not good enough to eat. Let's see if I can find a better one. Because yesterday I found one that was dehydrated, but it was still good enough to eat. Here, let's try this one. Probably gonna have to, oh, this one wasn't even. I could tell that it would have been so sweet. There's traces of sweetness for sure, even though it's dehydrated. I'm gonna try to put the hose here and let it drip. I mean, it's surprising because fig trees are actually drought tolerant, but maybe just there is an oak tree right behind it that we tried to, because it was dying and we chopped it down. Let me show you guys. And I feel that this tree is just taking so much energy from here. There's taking any water that we give this tree, it is being drained by that. It was just a stump and it started to grow. It's a pretty ugly tree if once it's growing this way. If it's growing amazing like this with a tree trunk, then yes. So we might have to get that removed. And what we're going to do is just keep watering it. I think that's what's happening. We put it too close to that. So luckily I got a nice juicy fig yesterday. So let's go see what else I can find. Listen, friends, I have this amazing pomegranate tree. Not once have I tried a fruit from this tree because the squirrels literally, they reside up in this hill. There's holes everywhere. They're underground squirrels. And we've thought about removing all of this to kind of limit the amount of squirrels that are living on this hillside. So I'm debating whether or not I should take one of these and just open it to see what's in it and how they taste. They're not completely ready, but at this point I might not even get a chance to try one because these squirrels go to town every single year. I put a net for the birds. It doesn't prevent them. The squirrels just go underneath it, and so far I've only seen 2 fruits, and I did see 1 or 2 that they already ate, so I'm wondering if they're kind of good enough to munch on. So let's just open one up. Let's do it together. I think this one's the best one. Let's try this. This is not nearly as ripe as you normally would want them. Let's see. All right, so let's see how this looks. Nope, look at that. All white. I'm just gonna hope that this year will be the year that I can actually try this pomegranate. I mean, I'm curious. Has no flavor. Has no flavor whatsoever. And there is juice. It's juicy, so it's getting water. So I shouldn't worry about that. It's getting water. They're growing. They're juicy. It has no flavor. I had like the tiniest hint of sweetness, but they're not ready. So where are we? We're about to be in July, tomorrow. So I know these usually ripen by September. It's way, way early. But I already saw squirrels trying to eat them. So I figured if they're trying to eat them, let's see. But at this point, I think they're just trying to eat them to get water because they're thirsty. It's been so hot. And I've thought about putting a fountain out here or something for them to have access to water so maybe they can leave my fruit alone. If you guys have any suggestions, something that has to be solar because there's no power out here. So, all right, let's go see what else. I do have apricot tree, and this year it didn't have that many, but I did see some fruit yesterday. So let's go get that before anything else gets to it. I'm gonna keep this in here because I'm gonna give it to the chickens. I'm hoping I can get some pomegranates out of this arch, and it looks pretty loaded, so I'm happy about that. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the squirrels, but let me show you guys. Let's open up this umbrella really quick so we can sit here and enjoy the weather. It is starting to warm up. Perfect. All right, let's try to get a fruit from here. If you can tell, this fruit is empty, it's bare. Last year it was loaded. I'm gonna have to pay attention to see if this tree is one of those trees that fruits every other year. But yesterday while I was doing my walk, I know, oh no! Okay, I noticed one fruit. Can you guys see that? I'm just gonna have to bring you guys close because you guys have to see the one and only fruit on this tree. Look at that. The fruit is amazing. Let's try this together. Oh, I'm like, is there any other one? You can tell something was already trying to chew it up. Let me bring you guys over here. Okay, it's a little scarring right there. Let's wipe it down. This tree last year was so full of fruit. I mean, so full of fruit. And I think what I felt to do is come, because this is one of my earliest fruiting tree. You get the flowers. This is probably like at the beginning of February. I'm gonna have to check my records, but you see flowers on this tree pretty early on. So I didn't even think or remember to water it deeply so all those flowers actually stayed as fruit. And I know I made a video telling you guys what to do at the beginning of the season to prevent this from happening, and this tree was the one that triggered me to do that video because I'm like, oh, I know better than to not give it deep watering when they're flowering. So let's try this. Last year the fruit was amazing. You guys see that? It's an apricot. This tree was here when we moved in. So yes, it's super, the texture is it's a little smooshy, but as you're biting into it and then you go into the skin has a little hint of sourness, but then an explosion of sweetness. So it's like a pretty interesting fruit to have and enjoy. I'm so glad you guys are here to try the only apricot fruit on this tree this year with me. And they say that the seeds are amazing for your health if you cook the inside part of it. This fruit is so good, I'm just gonna work around this damaged part because I don't know if a bird got to it or if it was just scarring. So good, friends. I also love the shaping of this tree. I love the shape of this tree. It's like a big canopy and it's short for the most part. I do need to trim it so it can stay short. So good. My favorite part of the day, coming out and trying fruit. These orange trees that are right here, they've been here since we moved in. We don't harvest as much fruit, but I should to juice them. I'm gonna see if there's a low-hanging fruit so we can eat it together. All right, so this tree doesn't have any low-hanging fruit. This one has one that I might be able to reach, but there is a third one up here, and I don't know if you guys can see me from where you guys are at. This is within arm's reach. I'm gonna bring one. I got it from the third one over there. It doesn't get as much sun, and I know that a lot of the sugars come from the heat and the sun. So let's try to cut this open to see if it's juicy. Ooh, it is juicy. It's dripping. Ooh, look at that. Yum. Okay, I'm excited because I haven't been eating this fruit over here. I just forget about it. When I think about fruit, I think about my orchard over there. Ooh, it's juicy. Mmm. It is. Mmm. Wow. And I believe this is a Valencia orange because I'm looking at it, and it doesn't have a label. It's sealed. No label on the fruit. And it is juicy. Why haven't I been eating these? I could be juicing every morning. Okay. I need to rinse my hands. And I want to show you guys the trees. Let me rinse my hands first. Just gonna water my plant as I'm rinsing here. That was super juicy. And the tree is loaded with fruit, so we're gonna have to get some fruit picker, which we do have one. I'm gonna turn you guys around so you guys can see the tree I got it from. All right, this is the tree. Let me show you. It's been here for a long, long time. It doesn't get as much sun, but there is fruit on it still. That's the one beautiful thing about citrus, that the fruit can sit on the tree for a long time. This is some privacy hedges, and there's 2 more trees over here that's loaded with fruit as well. And I've been trying to do better about watering these trees. We fertilized them this year because it's been here for so long. It might be here for about 20 years. So these trees are old. You know, most trees don't have a long lifespan after 20 years, but I'm trying my best to keep them alive. You can see a lot of dead wood that needs to be chopped off. So that's what this side of my property looks like. Really quick. These little baby apricot trees, I believe they're from seeds because we had so much fruit last year. I'm hoping to let them thrive and grow and maybe dig them up and put them in dirt. So stay tuned for that little project. I'm looking forward to it. I did it last year, and I think I took them out at the wrong time, or maybe they were too little because they didn't make them once I transplanted them. They didn't do well with transplant at all. So I'm gonna wait for them to grow a good root system, give it deep watering a whole week before I transplant them so they can be strong. And I'm probably gonna do it at the end of the summer where it's not so hot, so they don't go into shock and start suffering. And then I'm going to put them in the greenhouse, and hopefully we can get some fruit. Apricot, from what I know, it's one of the trees that you could grow from seeds. I'm gonna see, and they do fruit pretty earlier on, so I'm gonna just do an experiment with that and test the theory and then share it with you guys. And if worst case scenario, then we can use some of its mother's branches and we can graft it to the seedling. So what do you guys think about that? Now I want to see if there's any other fruit because this has been fun and I love fruit. So good. I'm probably going to give this to my chickens because I'm trying so much fruit right now that I probably should limit how much I take. Like if I eat this whole thing, I'm going to be full. So let's go. There's no real fruit out here in my little nursery section, but I do want to show you guys something I noticed yesterday that I was very excited about. I don't think that it got pollinated, but I do think that it's a good sign of the passion fruit. Let me show you guys. Believe it or not, this tomato has been here since last year. It's struggling, but somehow still giving me some fruit. I do have 2 other tomatoes that got overwinter. Let's go check them out. Here are the tomatoes that overwinter. I haven't trained them. I haven't done anything to them. This is just a side that I don't want to say it's getting neglected, but just something that I didn't pay attention to as much this year because my focus was just to refocus my energy and time into my fruit trees to make sure that they're well. So this doesn't happen to them where they almost died. And tomatoes are so resilient. I'm like, okay, if they're meant to be, they will be. And yeah, so this one's pretty loaded. I'm going to see if I can get some fruit in the next few days. Now, I don't know if you recognize what this is from where you're at. I want you just to take a minute and try to see, put it down in the comments below. What do you think this plant is? I'm so excited because it almost died on me at the beginning of this year due to squirrels or rodents chewing up the trunk it basically took its skin off. I had to give it some protection with IB Organic, and finally that deterred them from continuing to munch on this tree. I have to trim some dead leaves. It's getting plenty of water, and I saw the chunkiest, by now hopefully you wrote it down in the comments, the chunkiest finger lime. So we're going to harvest this together, and I want to open it because I've never seen one with my own eyes, and I want to show you guys. This is a chunky. This must be a thumb because look at how chunky that is. So let me get my knife so we can cut it open together. Okay, here's my knife. Okay, it doesn't smell, oh wait, it does. Once I poke it, it smells citrusy. So I'm gonna cut it just in half because I am curious. Ooh, it's crunchy. I'm curious to know what it looks like inside. Ooh, guys, look at this. You guys see that? That is interesting. I'm trying to focus for you guys. I really want you guys to see what this looks like inside. Wow. The citrus smell is different than other citrus, but look at that. Oh my goodness. You guys see that? I'm really hoping you guys can see that. There's not much of a tasting I can do when we go inside. Maybe I can squeeze it onto one of the fruits with a little bit of salt. But this is meant to be like a specialty when you're cooking. You put like a little something on top of your food. Wow, I'm impressed, and I'm so excited because there's quite a few fruits on here. So that means that I'm going to get a good harvest. There's still little flowers coming out, so I have to make sure that it's still getting plenty of water. Super excited. Wow, this is amazing, friends. I mean, this is not much of a tasting. Chewing on it, it's not that sour. It definitely has a lime taste to it, but it's not as sour as a lime. I'm going to look up recipes to see what I can do with this. Obviously, something like a little specialty, and it's more for decoration and a little splash of an extra taste for your recipe. If you guys have one, put in the comments down below. This is amazing. Let's go see what else we can find. Now that we're here, let's give this to the chickens. Yeah, they're chewing on it. Let's go on. So there's this tree over here that, I don't know if you guys saw one of my shorts. The blooms were the brightest pink. The tree was floated with it. It was one of the first blooming trees. It's a peach. And I'm curious if any of that turned into fruit. I haven't been over here in a while. And this is a red barren peach. So let me show you guys what it looks like. If I can find a picture, which I'm sure I have, I'll add it to this video so you guys can see how amazing the fruit gets. Okay. Let's see if there's, I mean, the fruit is way too small. But maybe we can cut one open. I'm surprised it even has fruit. It's been in the ground. How long has it been in the ground? I'm gonna take one of the fruits because technically I'm thinning it out. There was two in a cluster. There's no way we can really eat this and enjoy it. It's so small, but just out of curiosity. Oh no, it's so hard to cut through. So we're gonna have to come back here in a few weeks. It's completely green. Super hard. Let's continue. This is my mulberry tree. It already gave me one batch of fruit and it's working on its second one because I see a lot of fruit that's still white. I'm trying to see if there's a fruit that I can actually grab to taste with you guys. All right, let's see. I think I found one over here. Yes. See that? I've been grabbing a few of these every other day. I wish they were bigger though. I definitely need to get the Pakistani mulberry because those are a lot larger. Those are so good. I think that's the only one. Ronan, I think that's the only one for today. I'm gonna go check the other one. Let's go. Yeah, this one definitely doesn't have any fruit. This one didn't have fruit this year and it needed some TLC, which I gave it. So hopefully after that TLC we can... Oh my God, these dogs are so annoying. Look at my dog. He's just hanging out right here. Where's he at? And then those other dogs are just barking. Anyways, there's no fruit on this. Let's see what other fruit we can go find. All right, friends. This is my blueberry bush. And it actually has some blueberries here. I've been eating them up because it did get a whole bunch, surprisingly. Everything's just surprising me because they are thriving with very minimal care. That means that it's been in good soil, it's had mulch, and it's been in the right location. Early snack. Maybe I should have done more harvest videos, but I just been really enjoying all the fruit. I think that's all that's left. There's still some fruit that's coming along. So I'm just eating it as I go. But while we're here, I want to point out, do you guys remember that tree that I'm training to be like the pomegranate that I'm training to be as a tree trunk? Well, look at that. When I do my walks, I make sure I remove any new growth out of here. Like that. Do you guys see that? So I just remove it. Down here too. And look. It is so happy to be in the ground. It's been dying to be in the ground. It was in the pot for a long time. Some of the flowers are falling. I'm gonna make sure I come over here and give it some more water. Do you guys see that new growth? Remove it. Remove it before it's too hard. Just come and give it a little rub every now and then. The last thing I want to harvest is these nopales because I want to make myself a breakfast. I've been craving nopales for so long, and these are finally ready. I'm gonna have to be careful because they do have a lot of thorns, and I'm just going to cut them up and then clean them up inside. See that? I think probably 2 or 3 would be good. Any other good ones? The baby ones are the very tasty ones because they're so tender. Let's do this one. And obviously I can't taste this in front of you guys because I have to cook it and I don't want to get poked.